Thank you very much. Make sure, Katalin, we're not wasting your money at all. On the contrary, we are very thankful for supporting us and also in being here. And we're very thankful also for Marianne and the European colleague for really trying to integrate us as experts, as professionals, and as people trying to move the issue of sexual health and sexual medicine in our regions. So I take this opportunity to thank you for that. Well, I changed my mind. I had my slides, but then I thought I'm going to have an informal conversation with you on what's happening globally, which will help position this network in the context of the sexual health and sexual medicine. Marianne asked me to present as a member of the very prestigious group at WHO, which is the STAGE. It's a strategic technical advisory group of experts. And in this group, we cover really so much on the lifespan perspective, especially in the adolescents. And in this respect, I'm gonna try to make our voice in this group heard towards the integration, introduction, and promoting sexual health across the adolescents. And this growing discussion globally is based on two main premises. The first premise is the famous Guttmacher-Lancet Commission on SRHR that came strongly with a conclusion saying that there are 5 neglected areas in SRHR. And these are: 1, comprehensive sexuality education. The other one is related to post-abortion care. The third one is related to advocating for SRHR. And the fourth one was about the adolescent SRHR and, of course, sexual health, sexual rights in terms of emergencies, especially the COVID-19 era in the past 3 years have shown us that the first thing to fall under this pandemic was SRHR, unfortunately. So this is the first premise. The second premise is coming from the SDGs 2030, which you are all trying to participate in achieving these goals and targets. Exactly in the SDG 2030, there is a consensus among all the main players that UHC, which is universal health coverage, is central to achieving SRHR. And this has been proven through linkages they have done in the SDG 3 and SDG 5. In SDG 3, it is 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.7, 3.8, and SDG 5.2, 5.4. So these linkages were essential. But essential to that is the centrality of UHC. And by talking about UHC, which is universal health coverage, you are admitting the fact that most of the end users or most of the clients, they have a problem in accessing the care and the resources that are related to sexual health and reproductive health. Another main indicator that the global players are interested in really promoting and pushing sexual health, sexual rights, and the whole sexual health agenda came in April, where there is the PCC. PCC is one of the most really prestigious meeting at WHO, where you have at least $1.5 billion in the room. I mean, countries and main funders. And two main sessions in that room was how to promote and push sexual health across the lifespan. I was honored to be one of the speakers, and simply we were talking up to the funders, to these countries and to the Gates and to the Buffett and these main foundations, how to bring in sexual health across the lifespan of women and men, whether in their healthy days in everyday life or in terms of the pregnancy, cancer survivorship, disabilities, gender diversity, and so on and so forth. And this is also very important. I have never seen WHO to be as keen as pushing sexual health. And the world was represented, our past president Pedro was there also in the meeting. So they were very keen, especially these past 2 years, on pushing sexual health and SRHR, especially at the level of education and at the level of the providers. Okay? And they're really looking for major players to train providers and to work on building the capacities of the providers and also of the upcoming providers that are the medical students, the midwives, nurses, and so many others. And there is now the new director of the SRHR who is putting the sexual pleasure and the SRHR high on the agenda, and they're looking for partners. We're going to the Women Deliver in Kigali in July, also to be talking about sexual health, sexual rights for the providers, and also how to strengthen the education and the curricula in that sense. And I think these are very obvious signs, and these are also very convenient times whereby we gather our efforts to work on both the educational component or the building capacity component and also the training components related to those who are going to provide care across the lifespan of young women, of children, and of men in that sense. I'm going to stop, and I hope I can have some questions or comments on that regard. Thank you very much. If you don't have any questions, then I'm going to talk again.
So my question is, you said that the WHO has a deep interest now in promoting sexual health, especially in education. And do they have already any ideas to how to do that, or did you offer some ideas?
Definitely, I advised to contact the network, of course. Already they are in contact with the World Association of Sexual Health. We had a couple of meetings with Pedro was there. But I think the issue would be that we have to position the network on that sense. They are telling us what they desire and what they want, and they're showing a lot of interest in pushing this. I'm telling you, this is like probably the most time where there is so much interest in promoting sexual health. So I think, and also we're coming at a time when there is this need to build the capacity. It's not like, they're realizing now after 20 years of talking about sexual health, but who's going to implement this? Who's going to implement this? This is going to be implemented through services, agencies, universities, schools. And that's the time now where they realize they should be doing this.
So they should be very interested in a network who promotes early stage researchers to do sex research and who gives training to young researchers to do sex research in several specialities, be it oncosexology or be it, as you did in Porto Training School. So there is a big interest.
Yes.
So this is also something which should really keep us together and work on this topic.
And this is shown also in the argument of achieving the SDG 2030, when they speak about the centrality of universal coverage in achieving SRHR. I mean, they cannot go stronger than this. See, when you link that the SDG 2030 5 and 3 will not be achieved unless you are putting SRHR at the heart of the services.
Do you think that they also would do some funding for a research network like we are? and will be
At least,
continue to be.
at least they connect you to big funders.
Mhm.
If they don't pay money, they will let others pay money. That's usually the case. Yes?
Faysal, thank you very much. I mean, WHO has done a tremendous work of making contraceptive care safer, you know, with the medical eligibility criteria.
Yeah.
They published a handbook on how should you do contraception. Would it be possible to think about, you know, basic sexual health care as a little handbook published by the WHO, based, and could we sort of get in contact with them and ask them like they have done it for contraception?
I think this is a very good idea, and I think it can build on revisiting the working definition of sexuality and also of sexual health. Don't forget there are still working definitions. And I think we need to propose and move forward with this basic, because we don't have this. You see, as a basic instrument.
You know, it's not so complicated. I mean,
No. I think they would appreciate this. Yes, Esther.
Yeah. Thank you. Faysal, it's a related question in a way. Given you already talked about the inequalities in terms of who gets access to support and promoting sexual health at an individual level and at an institutional level as well. What's starting to appear is an evidence base for digital sexual health, but clearly where there is a kind of a strong evidence base, where it's been developed and trialled and we know that it will work, it brings with it maybe the flexibility that some of our more traditional methods just doesn't have. Is that being thought about in terms of the work with the WHO or not?
Definitely, there is a quality on this. Whether this is needed, definitely it is. Is this being talked about? If you do a little review, you can see some excellent papers talking about inclusivity through digitalization of sexual health information and knowledge and stuff like this. It's even people are talking about alternatives in what we call internet poor communities, where they use the proxy internet method. So definitely there is. Again, what I would like to repeat is, if you can position the network and come up with a proposal that really aligns with the strategies or the new vision or the new thinking in WHO, that will help us a lot. Thank you very much.